Hi, I'm Marcus Cohen, and I am a graduate student at the University of Colorado, and I study fish, so I'm a fish biologist. Another name for a fish biologist is an ichthyologist, and I became interested in fish at a really young age. I used to go fishing all the time with my dad. We would go deep sea fishing in California. I really enjoyed being out on the ocean. I enjoyed how the fish behaved and everything about them. And that led me to being more interested in actually studying fish. And so I came back to graduate school, which is what I'm doing now, to study fish more. Specifically, what I study are these African cichlid fish and other fish from Africa, a small catfish about this size that is actually a parasite of these cichlids. And so what a parasite is an organism that needs a different organism called a host to survive. They also harm this host in some way. And so in this system, the host are these cichlids and the parasite is this catfish. What these cichlids do is they lay their eggs and then they quickly pick up their eggs in their mouth and they carry them around. So it's kind of like they're carrying their nest of eggs around in their mouth to protect them. And then the fish are going to hatch in their mouth and they're going to develop. And then when they're old enough to swim out on their own, they're going to leave. And what this catfish does is it kind of swoops in and grabs some of the cichlid eggs and also lays its own eggs. And what happens is the mother cichlid ends up picking up some of these eggs in her mouth, and then the catfish develop faster and eat all the little baby cichlids in her mouth. And so by the time for the little babies to swim out, all that's left are a few of these catfish. And so she doesn't realize that this switch has happened, and she'll mother and take care of these catfish as if they were her own. What we specifically study is these different behaviors of how the parasite and the cichlid interact with each other, and how the catfish is able to find these cichlids and how they actually do this spawning. And also we look at their development. So with these catfish developing faster, we take pictures of them at different developmental stages and compare them and do different things like that. So we don't go to Africa to study our fish. Everything is done in this lab with all of these aquariums. We have several hundred aquariums in our laboratory, and people are interested in these fish because in these lakes where these cichlids come from and these catfish come from are in areas where the human population is really growing, and there's a lot of problems with extra pollution now, and people catching these fish to eat them and for other purposes. And so a lot of scientists are interested in conserving these species and making sure that they are around for a long time.